Highland Invitational is proud to present drum majors Clara Rose, Eve Bowden, Michael Olson, and Josh Bell, and the Madison High School Marching Band. Band. The Madison High School Marching Band would like to thank the Madison High School Band parents and administration.
I could start talking to you while I walk down and keep him from telling another musician joke. Or we could tell some co-ed jokes. I think those aren't appropriate anymore, though.
Well, I gotta sneak in one while he was walking. He gave me a break. Okay, so what do you get when you throw a piano down a mine shaft? A flat miner.
Okay, Madison, you can go ahead and relax. And you're in a really good set for me to come talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, whoa. Taught you that. This kind of cuts in and out sometimes, but they can hear me. Yeah, nice job. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Do I dare? How do you get on them? I'm an old man. I shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff. Stop. Thanks. I'm just going to address what needs to be worked on. Sound good? Because there's really a lot of good things with the show. There's a lot of power, your big notes. There's a lot of really nice visual stuff. The bunch of wind players playing drums, I said Home Depot, playing Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, I thought they were Home Depot when I was up there. Really a lot of fun, okay? If I was to put this whole, what I saw and what I heard in a nutshell, I would say if you'll clean up your visual product, your musical product will get better. Okay, and here's what I mean. There's a section towards the end, and he's probably cringed because I'm gonna bring this up, where you got your flute line coming across in two lines trying to come right across the 50-yard line, and they're coming across the 50, and their flutes are supposed to be here, but they're here, or here, or here, or there's no definition to it. And not only that, but they're on a backstride. And rule number one of a backstride is you're 2 inches taller. Because when I go into a back march, can everybody see me? I'm scared to do this. When I go into a back march, I pop up on my toes. And my legs stay straight. And my core strengthens and tightens up. And my cheeks tighten up. These cheeks. Okay? Yeah? And I'm standing and I'm solid. And when I go on the backstride, what stays off the ground? Well, you're saying it, but you didn't do it. Because here's the flute section. I'm picking on the flutes. But trust me, I'm getting to the saxophones next. Okay? So here they are. And they're supposed to be on a slide all the way up around 30, 60, 90 shoulders around. And because that's hard to do, they're more like about right here. And then, because it's hard to stay up on my toes on a backstride, they're bending their knees. And then they're coming like this. And that's how you look coming across the field. And trust me, you're not squeezing your cheeks. Do you know how I know? Because you're leading with your behind. Watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. They're actually leading with their butt. You've had this discussion. Why aren't you doing it then? But the thing is it was almost uniform. So as a judge, I have to say, well, that must be your style because it was almost uniform. Okay? And like I told the band earlier today, if what you're doing, if you decide to be a tiptoe band, but you do it all exactly the same way, then a judge has to credit it, because the judge is, however, a judge is going to get after you for that, I promise. A good visual judge is going to be talking, because your style is obviously the great classic that I still think is one of the best styles that everybody's trying to do better ever since. Just the classic pro step, right? Yeah, and I see people doing it really well. In fact, I picked out one on the recording. You were in a big, huge, long line, and it was, I think, the clarinet player that was coming up on the 50-yard line, or on the 20-yard line. It was clear out at the very, very end of the form. And boy, it looked great. I used to tell my students when we taught roll step that I should be able to, that if they were to write "Hi Mom" on their shoe right here, that I'd be able to read it, that their toes would be that high. But the biggest problem with this band is your back march. You just don't do it well. Okay? Is this brutal honesty? Okay, so repeat back. On a back march, my heels stay off the ground. My legs stay straight, and I squeeze my cheeks. A good friend of mine, who some of these directors might know because they're almost old enough, Sherry Manning, she was the band director at Mountain Crest way, way back in the day. Yes. Her favorite thing to tell her band, marching the exact style that you guys are marching, can I say this to the whole crowd? Sherry said it. You should be able to hold a quarter between your cheeks. Pinch a BB. Crack a walnut. Oh!
Oh, dang!
I've seen a movie where somebody did that. Okay? You're hearing it all from your staff, but friends, I am here to validate what they are saying to you. Okay? Now, musical product. There are some spots in the show where clarity is not there, but it's early in the season yet. A couple of things to your staff. Couple spots, like coming out of the drum feature. Was the sousaphone section playing coming out of the drum feature? I couldn't tell. Okay, it sounded. So, okay, it sounded to me like I was hearing a tuba note, like a pedal. They were marching back field, and I'm like, so you don't have anybody play until they face audience front. Okay. Okay, so that's what I was hearing. But it was getting varied because the drum line the drum line is not cognizant of what's going on around them yet. They're just having so much fun laying down their notes, and they've forgotten that there are actually other people playing. Yeah, so it might not be a bad idea, but when you're running rehearsal, you need to get a staff member clear up in the stands, and they need to blindfold themselves or cover their eyes and just listen. And listen for balances, because the battery percussion in a lot of places is burying the band. So you want to, and this is a big band, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be able to accomplish that, but they are. Winds. You've got to line up your attacks. But those are okay right now. They're not great, but they're okay. What is not good at all are your releases. You don't seem to it seems to you like maybe as a group you haven't the release points. I am a big believer that there are three parts to a note: the attack, the sustain, and the release. So we have to define all three of those parts. Like that last note at the end of the show, I want the release to be the loudest note. Would you play the last note for me one more time? Ending. Now, it could have been that I just asked you to play the last note and you just played it, but did you hear how bad that release was? Okay, now play it for me again and crescendo to the release. How many counts is the note? What? The note is 2 counts long? I heard at least 8 counts. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off? Oh. Oh, people come in a different place. Some people change notes. Okay, do it one more time. start just a little bit softer and crescendo to a little bit louder and make that bump at the last, the loudest thing you play in the entire show. Go. See, and all you did was you started just a little bit softer to give yourself something in the tank to go, okay? Now, let the tuba section lead the crescendo. Okay, so it doesn't sound brighter at the release point than it did at the beginning. Okay, listen for the tubas. Do it again. Audience, did you like that? I'm a miracle worker. No, I'm kidding. But just by having the tubas work to lead that crescendo, it darkened. Did you hear how much darker that was? And yeah, maybe that means the trumpets are playing a little softer. Oh well. You'll be fine. Yeah, tears down my cheeks, yes. Good job. I'm excited for you this year. I actually lived for a year in Rexburg about 4 years ago. Well, I kind of did. I had a one-bedroom apartment in Rexburg that I lived in from Monday through Friday. It was a trip. Yeah. I'm glad that I just live in Layton, Utah now and stay there. Yeah. Great to have you. Great to see you. And the rest of the season.
Here one more time for the Madison High School Marching Band.